Everybody, welcome to the September 17th, 2025 Milford Inland Wetland Commission meeting. I know that Commissioner Ranjit Bahav, Commissioner Stephen Munson, and Chairman Brendan Magnan are excused tonight. Lisa, if you could start the roll call.
Dan Bedecker.
Here.
Brian Black.
Here.
Jim Connors.
Here.
Nick Ritchie. Nick.
Here.
Julie Valvo.
Here.
Buddy Field.
Here.
Ray Gradwell.
Here.
Matthew Connors.
Here. Motion. All right. If we move on to, I'd like to declare Mr. Commissioner Gradwell and Mr. Field alternates for tonight's meeting.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
And as we continue to host remote meetings, I wanted to take the opportunity to highlight a few guidelines to ensure business runs efficiently and that all statutory and administrative rules are followed. In accordance with the Freedom of Information Act and Governor Ned Lamont's executive orders, this meeting is being recorded and will be made available on the City of Milford's website. During this meeting, if members of the Inland Wetland Commission would like to speak, please utilize the raise your hand feature via Zoom. All participants will be muted during the meeting unless recognized by the chair. After being recognized to speak, please state your name and address prior to making a statement. Commissioners do not have to do this. Speak only to items in the jurisdiction of the MIWA, wetlands, brooks, rivers, flooding, and wetland habitat. Zoning issues are not under our review. If we'd like to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, and Mary Rose, if you could put up the flag. And unmute your mics, please.
Pledge allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody.
There you go. Matt, you're on mute.
Thank you for calling that out. I was talking. If anyone is here for item C1, any members of the public here pertaining to IW-25-0036 34 Buick Avenue, the public hearing has been extended to October 1st, 2025, and we will be taking no action tonight as the applicant has a meeting with the city engineer next week. And so for anyone here for that item, we ask you join us on that meeting. Thank you. Mary Rose, continuing on, if we're going to go to actually D public comments. If there's any members of the public here that'd like to speak on any items not otherwise on the agenda, please feel free to raise your hand now. Seeing none, moving on. Item E, old business. Mary Rose, can you reintroduce us to item E1?
Sure. Item E1 is IW-25-0041, 1 Bayshore Drive. This is the proposal to raise and rebuild a single-family home with construction and grading within 100 feet of a wetland and watercourse in the South Central Shoreline Watershed by 1 Bayshore LLC. They are proposing to remove the existing structure and build a flood-compliant home that better meets their needs. The site is located adjacent to Calf Pen Meadow Brook and has both inland and tidal wetlands on the property. Application is to allow work in approximately 81 square feet of inland wetlands and approximately 2,268 square feet of upland review area for the demolition of the existing home and construction of a new flood compliant home in the same footprint. The approximately 81 square feet of inland wetlands and a portion of the tidal wetlands are located under the existing rear deck and stairs. A dewatering basin is proposed in the inland wetland. The agency walked this site last Wednesday on 9/10. The minutes for that site walk are on file. Just to let the agency know, we did receive revised plans at about 4:15 today. Too late to get them up on the website or for anyone to have time to review. We will submit them to the city engineer for review in the morning.
Thank
We
you.
had, okay, there was a number of outstanding questions from the last meetings. Those were sent to Ms. Raspini at her request, I believe, yesterday or Monday, I'm not sure. She asked, or we asked, what assurances are there that the contractors will follow the sedimentation, erosion, sedimentation control plans? What is the proposed sequencing of construction for the site? What are the plans to protect the existing concrete wall during construction? What type of shoring system will be used? What are the plans to protect the resources should the existing concrete wall fail during construction? What is the proposed method of removing the dirt bag and sedimentation basin items from the site when dewatering is complete? And in addition, I had questions and clarifications for the sedimentation and erosion control plan. That is the plan that was submitted late this afternoon, and I can share that now for you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
I try to share that now. There we go. There you go. This application was received at our meeting on August 6th and will remain on the agenda until the decision's made. We must make a decision prior to October 10th or request an extension from the applicant.
Thank you, Mayoress. So I guess tonight we have several options in regards to this application. But as far as the questions that we asked, that Mary Rose just stated, Mrs. Raspini, do you have an opportunity? Do you want to just state for the record your address and your name again? And if you can address any of those questions for us?
Sure. Jennifer Raspini at 1 Bayshore Drive, Milford. And I did receive the questions from Mary Rose's office yesterday around 3:30, and they were responded today. So for the reference of 2024 guidelines, that was answered on the revised drawings for today. The full construction sequence location, it's mid-left column. If you, Mary Rose, do you mind showing it? Do you have it?
This is the revised plan on the screen.
Oh, yeah. Is that what you're looking at? I'm sorry, I thought it was my screen. Okay. So for the reference 2024 guidelines, I have my little notes here. It says the top left quadrant of the sheet. That's where it is.
Top left quadrant?
Yes.
Let's see, the inaccurate description was lower right quadrant. Let's see if they fixed it there. Here, they fixed it down here on the lower left.
And number 2, full construction sequence. That's the mid-left column under work sequence and construction sequence.
Mid-left?
I see it. It's bottom,
Yes.
bottom.
Mid-left, it's like kind of center, lower center.
Construction sequence. Right?
Yeah. That's the only way I know how to describe it, so.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay,
Just
that's great.
Through you, Mr. Chairman, just a reminder to members of the public, if you have not been recognized by the chair, please mute your microphone.
Sorry, just give me a second. I'm just reviewing this.
Sure.
Is there any questions by the commission in terms of this construction sequence? I know Commissioner Field has, experience in this area. Does this look like something you'd be comfortable with? You're on mute, by the way, Mr. Field, Commissioner Field.
Okay, I'm having a hard time. It's so small on the screen.
Yeah, it is small.
Yeah.
Through you, Matt, Mr. Chair. This will be sent over to the city engineer for his review, and I can email a copy of this to all of you.
If just hold it right
you
there.
have a copy that you can see.
Yeah, the only thing I don't see on here is actually how they're going to literally stabilize that foundation. So, and I read Deep's requirements, but that's not our requirements unless the wall falls and then it becomes our requirements. We try not to get to that point. So I would kind of like to, and I'm sure Greg would too in engineering, but I'd like to actually, instead of them just saying, hey, we're going to brace the wall up. Well, we all saw what was on one side of the wall, which was a river. So you're not going to do anything from that side, and you can't, according to Deep's requirements, at least I read. So I kind of want to know how they plan on holding that wall in place.
Do you want to answer that?
Well,
Yeah,
We'll talk without, do we need to raise our hand, or what do we need to do?
yeah, just if you could raise your hand, but yeah, you have an opportunity to go.
Okay, thanks, because I don't know how to do the raise hand thing.
So I'm sorry, Miss Raspini, just for the record. So is your husband the one handling these questions, or is your husband the contractor, or is?
No, my husband is a structural engineer.
Okay, and he's giving the contractors these directions?
we will be. For me,
Okay.
it's the means and methods of the contractors, which will be approved and discussed prior to start of the construction. With DEP, we promised them we will try the hardest we can to make sure that that wall does not collapse. But as more time goes by, it's going to be more and more difficult. So I can sort of give you a construction detail, if you like, or a what I would call a shoring detail. I can produce that in the next couple of days, if that will help.
It will.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Does anybody else have any outstanding questions for the applicant?
Yeah, through you, Mr. Chair. My comments and questions are similar to Mr. Field's comments and questions regarding the existing foundation system and wall and how that will stay up. And I think if the Raspinis can put together a response to that with a detail or two and maybe a couple notes on how they envision stabilizing that existing block wall and make me feel a little more comfortable as well.
Right. And
Yeah,
Matt,
Mr. Khan.
I agree with Buddy
Mhm.
with it, and I personally don't see it's going to be a very difficult job to reinforce that wall with the house sitting on top of it. And once you remove that house, I think the wall is going to go. That's my personal opinion.
Okay, and just regards to this, for the exact, I want to be as specific as possible, Commissioner Field. So is there something specific that they can put into this application that would make us feel comfortable? What on their end, directive wise, would you recommend?
Well, it seems they're basing a lot on that wall and building the other. They have to construct the house, okay? And in the process, a lot of it right now has to do with, with deep. And, we have the wetlands in back, but unfortunately, if the wall goes, then like I said, then it becomes everyone's problem. So, I mean, my concern is everyone always says, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, but you never see a plan, and all of a sudden when the guys start getting out there, you want to have a concrete plan prior to us giving it approvals, other than everyone yesing everyone to death, and at least this way, the applicant can, whoever he's going to confer with, they can say, okay, this is what we have. We cannot go on the other side. That's deep, and then, but we're also doing it as a prevention, so it doesn't affect
Yeah.
us. So they've
And,
got a little, yeah.
I'm sorry, continue.
No, it's a structural plan. They have to come up. I mean, when I say structural, I mean it's like, it has to be drawn up. We have to see exactly what it is, because this isn't. I mean, we all looked at that wall up. It didn't give me the warm and fuzzies. Put it that way. And
Yeah.
I'm just trying to prevent it from getting worse. That's all I'm trying to do. Where it could affect us more adversely. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I just wanted to add this for the record too. The site is obviously extremely sensitive, and it's going to take the utmost care because of the vicinity to the inland wetlands, right? And as you've recognized, Mr. and Mrs. Raspini, we're Milford resident volunteers. We have no stake in the game here other than protecting the resource, and we care.
I understand. We all do.
I appreciate it. That being said, we're going to I'd like an opportunity to review these documents a little bit more closely. Obviously, they've just been submitted tonight. And also, but while you're here, in the essence of saving time and not having to go through this at the next meeting, I just want to, fine tune some of the details that I do see. So as far as the addressing of this, the silt sack or the dirt bag, I know there was a concern as to removal of that and how that removal is going to happen when the foundation's constructed. At what stage in the process is that bag going to be removed? Because it doesn't, I'm trying to read real quick. I can't really see the whole thing there. Mary Rose, if you,
Sorry.
maybe you could just answer it for us while you're on this call. We'll review these documents. We're not going to, I think we'll probably not make a decision tonight, but just for the sake of clarification, can you speak to that sequence of installing the silt sack, how you're going to manage it? Because did you by any chance put in specific locations on where that silt sack is going to be removed to, where that soil is going to be dumped to, specifics like that, just so we have, have an understanding that the contractor is not going to just, after the construction, dump it right back into the wetland. That's basically what we want in writing. That's what the type of things we're looking for.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. If you could just raise your hand, just a heads up, just so I can see that you want to speak.
I'm sorry. I thought
No,
it
you're
was on. I thought it was on the drawings that he wrote it in there.
It says, through you, Mr. Chairman,
It
I'm
says
sorry.
right side of the sheet near erosion and control details and symbols, dirt bag dewatering detail. That's my notes. Maybe it's on the second sheet.
Second sheet.
Okay, that's it says my note says right side of the sheet near erosion and control details and symbols.
Okay, so this is the top left corner of the detail sheet, which talks about how a dirt bag functions. So you said, where
My
did you
note
say?
It says location is right side of the sheet near erosion control details and symbols. I'm sorry, Mary Rose. I didn't know how to do it because
there's no symbols here.
Well,
So
just so I understand though, Mr. Rispini, you're the one that's answering these questions on this plan, correct? So can you speak to it, or?
I'm not the civil engineer, I'm a structural engineer, but I can speak to it if you were asking my opinions. My opinion is that the dirt bag will be removed off-site carefully just after the foundation is in and the need for it is gone. And we know the site is very sensitive, so we have to make sure
sorry to interrupt you, just for the sake of time though. So at what point during the process of the construction of the building, because I guess the big question is, if that silt sack gets filled, it's going to be heavy. People aren't carrying that out, right? You're going to have to, there's a couple different ways of removing it. And we just want specifics as to how is it going to be removed if there's no pathway. I saw in these notes tonight that you just submitted that there's somewhat of an answer to that question. So if you could just speak to that.
Well, I can't speak to exactly how it would be moved, but it'll be moved by small equipment because it will be too heavy to move by hand.
Okay, and just
so we're, and I would
sorry,
probably empty it as not wait till it gets full.
I understand, but just for the sake of time, it's not these things need to be recorded on the plan. Like the specifics of this needs to be recorded on the plan. We can't just go by an assumption of how things are done. We need it in writing, basically. That's what we're looking for to get this process moving.
Matthew?
Yep.
I'm sorry,
Mr. Chair. If you could raise your hand. Yep. Did you want to say something, Mrs.
Oh,
Rispini?
I'm sorry. I meant to say, Mr. Chair, I apologize.
It's all good.
Oh, I thought the civil engineer did that today because we went over what Mary Rose asked me and he said everything was there. He said,
okay. Well, I mean, just to that point, you said today, right? We didn't have a chance to review these documents if they're submitted today.
Yeah, so well, we got it at 3:30 yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I understand.
Through you, Mr. Chair, on the
Yeah, Mary.
top of the drawing, it says dewatering to be achieved and filtered pumped to dirt bag surrounded by hay bales. Dirt bag to be placed in future area of deck during construction. Dirt bag to be removed without slitting and replaced as necessary. The means of that is, I think a question is, Mr. Raspini, when the foundation is poured, will you have a flat deck, or will there, because there's walls on that lower floor, will a machine be able to access it over the flat deck?
Yes, it will be, because it will be filled in first, and then we'll have a slab. So
you
will have a working surface.
You'll have a working.
After the helicals are in and the pile caps are in and the wall foundation is, you will fill in, and then you'll have a working surface.
So the helicals go in, the foundation wall goes in.
The foundation wall goes in, then you can fill in and then build a slab.
Now, just so I understand for clarification, is this sequence in some way written into these plans? And that's for you, Mr. Raspini.
No, but it's obvious. So
I mean, it's not obvious because we don't know at what point.
You study the plan, you would know how. We have to put the piles in first, then we put the pile cap in, then we pour the foundation wall. And once that's done, you'll have a container. And once that's done, you can fill in up to the top of the bottom of the slab where that's going to go, and then you pour the slab.
Is this something that we normally request, Mary Rose, just so I understand, for a sequence of the operation of something, of the removal of something like this?
I think the only reason we're asking is because there's no visible way to see to get to it. And the concern is that, Mr. and Mrs. Raspini, the concern is that it can't be lifted out by crane once the house is built. It could be, but that would be prohibitively expensive. And your access with cane would be limited. You can't get down the short area to the south of the property.
It'll be removed.
And you can't come at it from the rear. So the question is, if it says it's not going to be slit, which is good because we don't want it to land in the wetland.
But
we
continue
want to understand
to
the
move it.
mechanism. If I can finish, if we can understand the mechanism for how it will come out, we'd be more assured that those wetlands were.
And let me
not gonna
interrupt
fill.
everybody just so we can get some order to the meeting. So again, if everybody could just raise their hand when they want to make a comment. I see Mr. Commissioner Ricci's raising his hand, so he'll be the next one with the opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Raspini, I think what the commissioners are trying to say is we have a construction detail plan of just from A to Z, basically. I know what you're saying, that it's kind of a progression type of thing, but safety and integrity of the wetlands, your civil engineer should spell it or on the plan somewhere of tags. That's all we're basically asking him to do. I understand the process of doing it, and you do, but it's just we need it spelled out. Shortcuts.
Mr. Ricci, you're cutting out a little bit. Sorry.
I thought it was.
Sometimes we deal with stop, make sure it's in writing. That's all we're asking.
Yeah, and to Commissioner Ricci's point, I agree. And none of us are civil engineers, so it doesn't come straightforward to us, the process of removal. And again, we're charged with protecting the resource. So as long as we see, and we're not trying to single you out by any means, there's a certain level of scrutiny to the application because of the vicinity to the resource. I mean, it's on inland wetlands, so we just need those details for an application like this for us to feel comfortable, That being said, is there any other questions from any of the commissioners? Any of the questions listed by Mary Rose outstanding for anyone? Hearing none. I would say that as of right now, because we just got documents tonight and it doesn't, it makes sense to just table this until the next meeting so we have time to review this. Does everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
And that, and just to add to that though, if there are specific adjustments the applicant wants to make between then and now in regards to the feedback we just gave, maybe some more specifics, it would be great if you can update those prior to the next meeting and submit them to Mary Rose. Is that something that we think that we can do, Mr. and Mrs. Raspini?
Well, I think Mary Rose and the engineer would need to look at it because I believe all the things that was asked that you're asking, the civil engineer said it was on that form. So because you just got it at the end of the day, it's not fair to you. You don't really know who it is.
Well, I'm
So-
just going based on what I'm seeing just lightly right now.
Mhm.
Is there a more detailed breakdown, Mary Rose, that I'm not seeing?
This afternoon, we received these two plans. The plan you're looking at, the second plan is a detail sheet. It has a detail of the dirt bag, and they've altered the detail for the hay bales. The bottom still shows stakes. The top says that if you're on paved areas to use rocks to hold the hay bales in place. And then it's just got the name and the date. The drainage plan, has the updated, I noted the updated stormwater numbers. I'm sorry, stormwater manual date. The addition at the top and a few additions here and there. I did not have significant time to review it compared to your questions.
Okay. And to that point, I'm just going to say I don't see a specific, and I don't think this is a big ask, just some sort of breakdown as to when in the process the silt sack is going to be removed and what the pathway is going to look like during that process. If you could just add that to the plan, we would appreciate it.
When silt.
I'm sorry, the silt sack, the dirt bag.
Okay, and what the pathway is going to look like?
Basically, at what point in the construction phase is that going to be removed, and what sort of path are you going to have to get to it? I think would you say that's suffice enough, Mary Rose?
Yeah, just know how to access. Mr. Raspini seems to have a plan for it. It's just not evident on the site plan. And so it may not be evident to the field personnel, and they may cut it instead of using the plan.
All right. That being said, would we say the right motion right now is to take no action then?
Unless the agency has more specific questions or wants to motion specifically for these items. I think Mr. Raspini, do you have any more questions of what the agency is looking for?
Me? No.
No.
So they're basically looking for clarification on the sequencing, on a plan, and to make sure the other questions that were asked before are covered. They may be covered on this plan, which none of us have looked at it long enough to know. Does that encapsulate what we're looking for?
Yes. And we thank you for accommodating this. But again, this would be any site, any application in relation to the wetlands like this. We'd be doing the same level of scrutiny just to protect that resource, and we appreciate you guys taking the time to make these revisions. That being said, are we all okay with taking no action before I proceed? Yes, Julie, would you like to speak? Commissioner Valvo?
Through you, Mr. Chair. One thing that I know is in our documents here is just conversation about any sort of public hearing. Has there been any interest, any concerns? If there is going to be interest in a public hearing, we should talk about that.
The public hearing.
Another.
Sorry, go ahead. Well, I was just going to say that the public hearing, if we were to pursue a public hearing, we would have to ask an extension. And I think at this level, we would have heard something from the public. Would that be correct to say, Mary Rose?
Through you, Mr. Chair. We have not had any public inquiry. Commissioner Bahab is entering the room. I think I apologize. I think there's one public inquiry we had, and it was just curiosity about the plans. But no one has asked for a public hearing. And you're correct, Mr. Chairman. This was received, and its review period will expire on October 10th. If the agency wished to hold a public hearing, they would need an extension because the applicant would need 2 weeks in order to certify mail her neighbors about the hearing.
Does that answer your question, Ms. Paulo, Commissioner Mello?
Yes, through you,
Okay.
Mr. Chair. I just didn't want that to be a topic that came, at the next meeting and then delayed things all the further. So if we don't think there's any interest out there for a public hearing, I'm totally fine with that. I just wanted to address that topic tonight before we closed out tonight. That's all.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair?
Yes. Commissioner Field.
One thing I just wanted to basically stress to the applicant is they have spent a lot of time on the house they're going to build there. The plans are very intensive in terms of the helix, the foundation designs, things of that nature. I think what they should also have more in detail, and it's been brought before, is on how that wall is really going to stay in place. And I think as much time and energy that was spent in designing the new foundation should go into the retention of that wall and to make sure it won't go into it. Because right now the plans just say wall to be used, or it's not very specific. And I'm just trying to help you guys out. I don't want you to come back here in like 2 weeks or whatever, and you drew a little something on the plan saying, oh yeah, they're gonna whatever staple to the wall. You need to have plans that are going to show how this thing's going to stay in place. It's going to prevent lands from being affected.
To that point, Mr. and Mrs. Ruspini, do you guys have a contractor picked out for this? Is this something that they can? Is this next meeting?
No.
Could they?
We don't have one in concrete as of yet because we're trying to figure out what we're doing here.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Bahab had entered the meeting late. I'm not sure if he has any questions.
Commissioner Wren.
Yes. Yeah, sorry for the late. I got stuck in traffic on the way, so sorry.
It's okay. Thank you.
Thank you for joining.
Thanks for showing up. All right. If everybody's comfortable, then we'll take no action.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Okay. I'm going to take no action. Thank you guys for your time. Appreciate you guys showing up, answering our questions, and hopefully next time around we can start getting some answers. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, now I wrote it down. I have to say
Thank you.
I apologize.
Appreciate it. It's all good. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I just lost my place on the agenda.
That's okay. The next item is item G, consideration of minutes.
Yep, consideration of minutes. Do I have a motion to consider the minutes of the August 20th, 2025 public hearing and regular meeting?
Make a motion.
I'll
second it.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Motion
Chairman.
made.
It's
Yes.
not,
That's an
not the
error
right
on my
list.
part.
I'm sorry? That's an error on your part? Yeah, okay. Sorry. So that was the 8th.
September
what's the date?
3rd and September
Oh,
10th sidewalk.
September 3rd and September 10th site walk. So the
I'll make a
September
motion
3rd
for
public
both.
hearing. Thank you. I'm sorry, that was Commissioner Connors that made the motion?
Also,
And who was seconding?
I second it.
Commissioner Field. Thank you.
Welcome.
Mary Rose, staff report.
Wait a minute.
Wait, you gotta finish that
Oh, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry. I knew I was going to make a mistake at some point. Come on. Lisa, roll call vote.
Dan Bediger,
Aye.
Brian Black,
Aye.
Jim Connors,
Aye.
Nick Ritchie,
Aye.
Julie Valvo,
Aye.
Buddy Field,
Aye.
Ray Gradwell.
I'll abstain for this because I wasn't at the sidewalk.
Okay, and Matt Connors.
Aye. Motion carried. And now,
This is
item
Ranjit.
H.
This is
Oh, I'm
Ranjit. I would
sorry,
like to abstain.
Ranjit.
Oh, Ranjit, yes.
And
Yeah,
I'm
so I'd
sorry,
like to abstain. Yeah.
Ranjit, you're abstaining or voting?
Yes. No, abstaining because I was not there.
Okay. Got it.
Thank you. Motion carries. Item H, staff report. Mary Rose.
All right, staff reports in the notes, but if you got any questions on the outstanding applications, if you can call me, email me, let me know, and I will get them to the applicant as soon as I've got them. The Cacuic meeting, Connecticut Association of Conservation and the Wetlands Commissioners, is going to be Saturday, November 15th in Cromwell. Runs about 8 or 8:30 to 4. And in my notes, there's a listing of the different tracks they have for sessions. The city will pay for you to attend and have lunch, but it takes us about a month to get a check cut. So if you are interested, if you could please let Taft or I know and which classes you'd like to attend. Also, there's a link. The Yukon Center for Land Use Education and Research, also known as CLEAR, is having several lunch hour lunch and learns over the next 4 weeks or 5 weeks, I'm sorry, in October. So if you're interested in any of that, it's basically board participation, board responsibilities. It covers all land use boards, not just wetlands. So you get a little zoning flavor and conservation flavor as well. But those are interesting. They're free and you can do them at your desk. Does anyone have any questions for me? Thank you. Matt, you're on mute again. Sorry.
No, it's my fault. Item I, Chair's report and communications. Thank you, Mary Rose. The next meeting will be the continuation of the public hearing and regular meeting on October 1st, 2025 via Zoom. Please let the office know if you cannot attend to assure that we have a quorum and get any questions you have on the applicants to Mary Rose so that she can forward them to the applicant. And please remember that we cannot discuss applications with members of the public or the applicant outside of the meeting room. If someone approaches, sorry guys, if someone approaches you regarding any items on the agenda, please refer them to the office, ask them to email or mail their concerns to Mary Rose for inclusion in the application record. That being said, do I have a motion to adjourn?
You have it.
I second it.
Commissioner Connors, Commissioner Field seconds. Thank you guys. Thanks for everybody participating, making it a little easier on me this time around. You know, I'll return the favor, to Mrs. Val one time.
Don't forget your roll call.
Give you an easy initiation.
Thanks,
We need
guys,
a
for
roll
making it
call,
easy.
don't we?
Yeah.
We need a roll call.
Yes, the roll
Roll
call.
call. Roll
Dan
call.
Lisa, roll call vote.
Dan Bedecker,
Aye.
Ranjit Bahav,
Aye.
Brian Black,
Aye.
Jim Connors, Jim,
Aye.
Nick Ritchie,
Aye.
Julie Valvo,
Aye.
Buddy Field,
Aye.
Ray Gradwell,
Aye.
Matt Connors.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank
Have a
you,
good
everyone.
Good
evening.
night.
See you in 2 weeks.
Good night.
Blessed,
Good night,
we're all
everybody.
done.
All set? You need anything from me, Mary Rose?
You are all set. Thank you very much for your help tonight.
You're welcome.